Martin Muses and Midweek Musings. It is that time of day. Yes, it is precious, sometimes known as Hump Day, but no, it is Wednesday. And what is on my mind that I wanted to share with all of you, something about which we all can be musing, is how to survive Christmas. Now, if there's any hint you could see perhaps on my thumbnail, that for many people, it is something that is incredibly painful. That is Robert Carlyle from the episode Manhattan in Once Upon a Time season 2 when he literally breaks his own leg so that he doesn't go to war. It's a big old plot, but it's pretty intense and it hurt a lot when he did that. And yes, already I'm having cat interference, so I'm uh, trying to distract him from trying to destroy the stream because cats are crazy. So, yes, in many cases, that is exactly what Christmas is like for people, and it doesn't have to be. That's why I'm here to help you all, precious. And you see, I have going across what are your tips. I always like audience participation on these to help us out. And hey, I have a goal. I'm actually testing it out here. I have no idea how this works, but okay, there it is. Oh, I see. Could I give myself a super chat to give myself a goal? I don't know, but I'm testing out some of these new features. And if anyone knows anything about some of these new features that they're rolling out and you can help me, I would definitely appreciate it. So, all of you that are watching on the replay or will be watching in the future or that are watching in the past, please welcome. Thank you for being here and give it a like, share, and a subscribe. I am at 1,149 subs. And so I will probably be celebrating that number later. But in any case, I was looking up some psychology things about how to survive Christmas, how to deal with it, how to have a good time at Christmas. Because I think the temptation is that we get ourselves so caught up in so many different things that we don't enjoy it, that it's a chore. Now, it may be true with yourself that there are a lot of painful things associated with Christmas. I do know that my grandfather, he passed away around Christmas time, so often that can be something that is very sad and poignant. So it sucks when things happen during Christmas time and then it's associated with that. But there are also many good things associated with Christmas, and I'm here to help with that. Now, you might even be one of those people that doesn't even celebrate Christmas and you're just sick of it all. And you're not alone either. So let us know how you survive Christmas. But I think the number one tip that I like to say is remember the reason for the season. Now I know in many, many cases it's Jesus. And frankly, it is Jesus. But you can grab that expression and apply it to yourself in any manner of secular, if you will. Remember the purpose of it. And I said it a little bit earlier. One of the purposes of it is just to enjoy yourself, to be merry and bright, all that stuff. So what can you do personally to have that? And look who it is. It is a fellow flower. It is Chrysanth. Thank you for being here, Chrysanth. Always good to see you. If you have any tips about surviving Christmas. Now, as a practicing Roman Catholic, it is really a lot of fun getting into the season by remembering the reason for the season because it's really Advent. So if you really, really want to jump with 2 feet into Advent, that's a way to get around some of the stressful things about Christmas time. People associate this with Christmas time, not necessarily with Advent, where we're supposed to be contemplating the second coming of Jesus and getting ready for it, getting ready for judgment. So if you want to not celebrate, not decorate yet, pull that card. It's like, I'm actually celebrating Advent. I'm getting ready for the second coming of Jesus. And I don't put up my decorations until Christmas Eve. Now, that is something that I do. I do not bring out anything Christmas until Christmas Eve. With one small exception, there's a little Christmas tree that my family got me as a present. So I'm like, okay, fine, it's up. But for the most part, I have purple light bulbs around to keep everything purple. You can go to confession, only play Advent music like O Come Emmanuel. We're in the O antiphon, celebrate the O antiphons with the Liturgy of the Hours. That's one way to jump into it. Celebrate Advent and then celebrate all of the 12 days and more if you want to. Keep going. You can keep going. It's loads of fun. Christmas tide all the way up until February 2nd if you want to the Feast of the Presentation. Go for it. It'll be fun, but definitely try to celebrate 12 days of Christmas. Another reason to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas is because most people only celebrate Christmas Day, at least in America. So loads of things are going to be on sale. Get all the candy, get all of that. Another way to maybe celebrate and enjoy this is get into Christmas movies that controversially may or may not be Christmas movies. I'm not going to get into the debate. I actually like Die Hard. I like the whole meme about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Watch Die Hard with your family. So instead of like It's a Wonderful Life or things like you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see any of this schmaltzy, cheesy, sugary, saccharine stuff. Get the family together and watch Die Hard. Watch Lethal Weapon. Those, by the way, are great and inspiring movies, but not necessarily traditional Christmas movies. Kritzanne says she's going to start trouble. Someone stop her. Well, I've already done it. I bought for my family, my sister's family, one of those advent calendars with the dude and Gruber falling from the building. Like, go ahead and jump into that. It doesn't have to be schmaltzy. You don't have to listen to Christmas music either. Don't do it. Things like watching The Grinch That Stole Christmas, those are also kind of fun. My folks actually, for the first time recently, watched the Charlie Brown one. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Or go to theme parks and, I don't know, go to Mexican restaurants. Drink tequila. Chris Sant said, is it just me or have advent calendars gotten cheap with the chocolate this year? Well, I don't know because I don't do those kind of advent calendars. If they have, shame on them. Shame on them, shame on them. The closest I have, I do get like an advent calendar thing with advent with tea. So I get different flavors of tea. And then I also have the 12 teas of Christmas. So I do it for 12 days. But if they are going cheap with the chocolate, they are ashamed. They should be ashamed of themselves. And they should start thinking about the judgment of Jesus coming upon them for such a crime. The chocolate is so little now. Oh, yeah, shrinkflation is everywhere. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. Everything's gotten smaller. Which may not be a bad thing, but we can be more like France and just have smaller portions, but it does seem a little bit underhanded that all of a sudden everything is smaller and we're like, hey, we know what's going on. We know what's happening. Yeah. So I like to watch the Hallmark movies, and they don't count as saccharine to me because they are so ridiculous. You can't even begin to take them seriously. So they're loads of fun, if that's what you like. I mean, you can just actually sit around and almost guess exactly what they're going to say. That's part of the fun with the Hallmark movies. Let's see. So those are some of the secular ways. Now, we all know that sadly, family is involved. This sounds so terrible. I sound like I'm a horrible person. But yes, family. Now, family is usually one of the highest stressors of Christmas. There's several ways that this takes a form. One of them is with the person hosting it who gets it into their head that everything has to be perfect. Oh my gosh, everything has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, then it's not perfect. And then everyone is going to suffer because you're going to be so stressed out. No one's going to like you. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter if everything is quote unquote perfect. And if you do have that mother-in-law or that obnoxious relative that wants to make snide comments, go deaf. I always say go deaf is a very good thing to do. The world won't end. Just pretend you didn't hear it. But the idea that you have to make everything perfect for Christmas is absurd. Or if you are going to be that way, hire somebody. Yeah, go hire some staff to do it all for you. Otherwise, shut up and relax because that is a high source of stress. Now, this is difficult, as I told you, if you are on the other side where I said you're going to make everybody miserable by how you're behaving. If you're one of the people that doesn't do that and you're on the receiving end, yeah, that's hard. That's going to be hard for you at Christmas time. How to be around someone that is so uptight you want to punt them like a football. I've said before, never underestimate pouring some rum into your Coke. Get one of those airplane size things and put them in your purse. Why not? And then say it's Christmas. Overindulge in the eggnog. If you're really lucky, you'll have a baby. And then you can say, oh man, I gotta go feed the baby and disappear. If someone makes a comment about your figure, oh my gosh, don't you hate this? They bring out like 10,000 cookies. They're like, look, there's all this food. And then they start making passive aggressive things like, but you don't want to eat too many because you want to be able to fit into your clothes. And you're like, then why are you bringing out the cookies? There's all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. And it is a day get outlaw. We're talking about how to survive Christmas. If you have any tips, please go ahead and share them. So I'm talking about, well, sadly, the in-laws. Why do in-laws have to be so obnoxious? So I don't have in-laws, but here's a good joke about in-laws. It's a dad joke. Priest always used to say this at weddings. He would say, what's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. Ba-dum-bum. There we are. But it's not just in-laws or outlaws. It can be the grandma, the grandpa, the sister who's too uptight. I don't know, the brother-in-law, the brother that's too uptight. I don't know. Maybe the kids are crazy and running around like lunatics. Okay, here's my tip for kids. Kids are kids. I will say it again. Kids are kids. Don't try to make kids do unkid things at Christmas. If you have a basement, as the kids all come in, shove them down in the basement and have like videos, board games, snacks, treats. Get one of those little fridges with all sorts of sodas, whatever it takes. Just let the kids go down there and be kids because they don't want to hang out with all the adults and all the old people either. And if kids are not allowed to do kid things, if you want to just tell a bunch of people under 10 to just sit and be good and be quiet, guess what? Everything is going to go wrong and everyone's going to be stressed and upset. If you do not have a basement, have a room set aside, a guest room, a playroom, a den, whatever it is, set it up for the kids. And that includes teenagers. Give teenagers a place to be. And if you have one of those family gatherings where there's 200 million thousand people, if you can split them off, the young ones go here, the big kids go somewhere else. Let them be kids. They don't want to be around you. They want to say hi to you, but then let them have fun. All right. Don't force kids to do something they don't want to do. Oh, I like that joke. Yeah, that's a good one. Adega Outlaw says, sad truth. We got so many goodies at my office from patients that we had to quietly throw half of it away. We re-gifted cookies, cakes, and candles. It was just way too much. Ah. Well, that's actually a good tip. Yeah, absolutely regift. Oh, this is funny though, because how I would deal with all this stuff is I would actually bring them into work, but I worked at a school. So there was tons of people. So there was plenty. Yeah. Keep that in mind. I tend to not bake for people nowadays. I think a good thing is give them a gift card. Like there's a teacher I know, haha, she doesn't know it, but what she's getting for Christmas is a Subway gift card because That's where she likes to go for lunch. It's near the school, so boom, I'm gonna get her a Subway gift card. You can never go wrong with that. I like the idea of regifting, though, or bring them home for the kids, or I have done this. This is a true story. Like, sometimes people will give me treats or snacks or things, and I save them all up and bring them over to my sister's because my sister usually has a big old party, and it's like, "Here you go." So, use these things to stock up your Christmas party or bring it with you to your gathering. It is salty traveling, see? Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a gun. Wow, did Santa bring it? If so, he was a you must have been a very good boy this year. That's pretty awesome. And look, Merry Christmas, Salty. Yes, yes, everyone's saying Merry Christmas, good sir. Yes. I'm not sure if that's a tip for Christmas, but that might work. It is a dad man walking. Thank you for being here. What are your tips? I was just talking about take all the kids and get rid of them. You don't want them and they don't want you. Let kids be kids. Yeah, they used to toss us in the basement like a football or playground, or I don't think you're legally allowed to do this, but I remember back in the day, they'd just say, just go outside. And when it's time to eat, bring it in. It's not a meme. It really is true. That's the way it was. Let kids be kids. Let the adults be adults. Everyone's saying Merry Christmas to each other. Yes, thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas. We're actually in the O antiphons. So we're in the O's. I love the O's. Celebrate the O's. Taking notes. Get rid of the kids. Got it. Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. You'll get your eye out, kid. The Christmas story. Yes, please don't do that. Please do not do that, salty traveling sea. It is Jacob Ironside. Hello, and he's giving me a rose. Thank you. Yes, Merry Christmas. Yes. Or Merry O's. Yeah, I was just saying another way. If you really want to get out of Christmas, just say you're celebrating Advent, which I'm not actually lying. I'll tell you what, my parish is so awesome. We've had extra confession all week. The priests have all been there for 3 days. Get ready for the second coming of Jesus. Read the book of Revelation. Study all that stuff. And then don't celebrate till the 24th. You will not get burned out. It will help burn out. But yeah. So we said about getting rid of the kids. Now, the hardest part is getting rid of the relatives you don't want around. Guess what? You just got to suck that up. But how grown-ups can solve it is put on the football game. Never fails. Very similar to my Thanksgiving tips. Maybe have a board game, have a trivia game. And if you haven't been able to get rid of the kids, put some kids in charge of that and have them go around and with Trivial Pursuit cards and ask everyone questions. I've seen that work before. Or have little stations, put little stations, like little quiz things. There was something we did for fun in my family a few days ago, where you can put on YouTube, like where they'll have Christmas lyrics and you just put it up and play it, and they'll say the first line and then you have to say what the next line is. Do that. Entertainment. Now, if you're really, really lucky and you all like each other, maybe you can all just sit around and hang out. But this is for where if you're on a not casual Christmas or where you're all together or you have a bunch of people, but even people that like each other can get on each other's nerve. I hope Salty is having his Christmas music stream. Oh, I do not know. Yeah. Need to do that. Oh, that's good. Everyone is saying hello to each other. Please share your tips for surviving Christmas. Now, I've also said about the relatives you don't like. We talked about that a lot with Thanksgiving, and sometimes this is just life. Sometimes you just need to suck it up. You can survive anything for 3 hours. You really can. So don't allow it to ruin you. Just, it's not worth having like a big family rift over not being around for Christmas, all right? Unless there is a huge reason why you don't want to be around certain relatives, like murder or something, suck it up. Suck it up. Your parents, your grandparents, they're not gonna be around here too much longer. Just deal with it, and then try all these different things that I've been telling you. Unless they are a life-sucking vampire. Well, and I think that's what I was saying, that we all know the exceptions to that. Yeah, you don't want a life-sucking vampire at your Christmas celebration. That is no fun. Or start traditions. I mentioned a little bit earlier about movies. I'm wanting to start the tradition of watching Die Hard every Christmas. We did it last year as a family. I want us to do it this year. So find that. Another tradition we've had in our family is we watch Elf at Christmas time. So that's another one to watch. So go ahead and find that movie that you all like to watch. You will be happier for it. The Fellowship of the Rings. This is a really good one. Watch The Fellowship of the Rings because it lasts like 3 hours. That can take care of everything. Oh, there we have a super chat. We do, yes, we do, Precious. $4.99 from Adega Outlaw. Thank you so much for a candy cane. And I believe that also fulfills our goal. So, first of all, Adega Outlaw, Adega Outlaw, you, sir, get a rose. So let me see here. Boom. And to keep my promise with the goal, since we reached my, everyone gets a rose. I don't want to be too crazy here. I'm going to work on some animation. Maybe I'm going to get my nephew to do it. But thank you very much, Adega Outlaw. You've been great. Everyone buy his book. You can find it on Amazon. That's where I bought the first one. I did it, I think, with some of my Christmas money. There you go. I got an Amazon gift card. Use that to buy a book. And then that's like a double gift. A, you will be reading something. And B, you'll give a Digga Outlaw a little gift. All right. Jacob Ironside says, Nosferatu the Vampire is an exception. Oh, yeah. The new movie is coming out. I have mixed feelings about it because, it's a classic. On the other hand, it might actually be pretty good. We shall see. So, thank you. Oh, did I read it? He said for a candy cane. I think I was so excited about the super chat, I forgot to read it. For a candy cane. I will definitely get a candy cane. I will get a big one. I am going to go to Walmart after the stream because I need milk. So, I will get me a candy cane. And take a picture of it. Yes. Here's something you can do. Take a candy cane, a small one, a big one, whatever, or part of a one, and get peppermint tea, and then put the candy cane in it. It's really good. Works also with hot chocolate. Not so much with coffee. Actually, I've never tried it with coffee. One of these days, I shall try it with coffee. So, yes. Or go to the cinema. Go see Nosferatu. It's on Christmas Day. I think it's a very odd time to be releasing it, but hey, no one asked me. Go ahead and do that. Ooh. If you want to get out of Christmas, all right, try this. Go and volunteer. Okay, that's terrible, but it's true. There's lots of food kitchens and things that you can go and volunteer your time and say, oh, sorry. Or if you can afford it, go on a cruise. Then you really don't have to show up if you don't want to show up for Christmas. But that's also something that you should just maybe try anyways. They have lots of special things with Meals on Wheels. I know that if you belong to a 12-step program, they always have a Christmas dinner usually for people to celebrate because they do not often have a family anymore. So it's a time for them to celebrate. Put yourself into that. Make someone else have a Merry Christmas. Participate in food drives, etc. Get the focus off of you because there's a reason why sometimes people get depressed during this time of year. A, it's darker than usual. All right. We're always going to get depressed because it's natural. Things are darker. And I hate daylight savings time, standard time, whatever. I want them to just choose one so we don't get discombobulated. But it gets darker earlier and light later, we're just gonna be susceptible to depression. We like to thrive in sunlight. We're like flowers. So, yeah, your mood's gonna go down. And then with everyone telling you, "Be happy, happiest time of year, happy," and all this, that actually makes you feel worse because the more you try to manufacture happiness, the more fake it is, and then the more depressed you get. It's very sad. So, try to beat those holiday blues that way. Another way to beat the holiday blues, make sure you're exercising. Don't fall into the trap of getting lazy or getting out of your good routines. The more you can stick with your routines, you will be happy. Here's something else. Don't put pressure on yourself at the holidays that you shouldn't be putting on. Don't do something you can't afford. Don't try to cram in too much. Learn to say no. I know, easier said than done, but try. Like this time of year, they have Messiah stuff, they've got concerts, they've got sing-alongs, they've got caroling. Here's an example. Midnight mass. I don't wanna stay up to midnight. There's no law that says you have to stay up to midnight mass. For many people, that is nostalgia, but guess what? You don't have to go. I don't like staying up late and messing up my sleep schedule. I swear I get, like, jet lag. So don't put pressures on yourself that anyone else is putting on you. You don't have to go to midnight mass. I go to the children's Christmas Eve mass at 4. Kinda easier for me because it's easier to have one person go than if you have to bring a family, but yeah, do that. So don't put those kind of pressures on yourself. Go Christmas Day or go to midnight mass. Actually, midnight mass might be a way to get out of things. "Oops, gotta go. Midnight mass. Gotta go get ready for that." But I do know that that can be a thing that there's, like, this expectation that you have to do that. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do anything you don't wanna do. I think the last time I attended midnight mass was because I was singing, so I was being paid. Oh, we have another super chat. It is another 4.99 from Salty Traveling Sea. Merry Christmas and God bless America. Yes, here's something else. How can you be depressed when happy days are here again? The golden age, whatever you want to call it. Things are going to get better. They already are getting better. Yes, God bless America. This has been a really rough few years. Everybody from every demographic got hit really hard. And then they wonder why they lost. It's been rough. It's been rough. But yes, that's something to look forward to. James O'Keefe, he said 2025 is gonna be lit. Yes, it is. Thank you, Salty Traveling Sea. And for this, you, sir, get a rose. Thank you, much appreciated. Thank you for all of you that support my channel and that all of you that are here. And maybe this might help you out. I would also go for any kind of extra stuff. You don't have to do anything extra. Do the minimum. Do the minimum. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Only decorate your house, put up Christmas lights if you want to. No one cares about other people, right? All right, so I talked about that. Now, I know that there are some exceptions to these, like sometimes you have obligations. I have some of my clientele that have a very difficult time sometimes at Christmas time because their parents are divorced. So they not only have to survive one Christmas, they have to survive like 2. Even if they're too tired, even if they don't want to, they just have to. And I know it's rough on the kids, so think about the kids. But find things to look forward to in the new year. Make some New Year's resolutions. I know one of mine, actually, I'm going to share in just a second, but and before I am, will rather, it is the Nordporial Life Forum for $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. I, as an adult, love to give and make others happier as a result. The kid I was back then would have Brother, the kid I was back then would be shocked. Stay safe and have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Darn right. Yes, and for this Nordporial Light Forum, you, sir, get a rose. Thank you. Yes, all of that. Remember, most of these obligations are man-made. In some cases, Hallmark made. Yeah. But like we have some things that we're being excited about. Sorry, I got to figure out something to do with my cat when I stream. It's really tricky because he keeps smacking things. Bravo, Brian and Adega. Ah, they're handing each other drinks and Christmas trees. Oh, Nordporial Life Form named Brian. I'm like, who's Brian? Oh my gosh, I'm so ridiculous. All right. So maybe start to use this time to think about your New Year's resolutions. Don't do exercise or food or diet or weight because guess what? It's not going to happen. Do something that you know you're going to be able to do. I'd hate to sound cynical, but those are the ones that usually don't work. Or don't think about losing weight. Think about maybe keeping up with an exercise regimen. That is something that is more practical. It is Nordporial Life Form Salty. Let's hope the pork bill doesn't pass. Oh yeah. Well, we can ask Santa for that one. All I want for Christmas is that. And by the way, please feel free, everyone, to put your links in the chat. Let's see. I think all of you that have given super chats do have a link. Please do so. 100% agree that's pure WF poison. Yeah, they're going to try. They're definitely trying, aren't they? It is Sean Sue. Like, read more books. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Sean Sue. You are absolutely correct. One thing that I began over the past few years was getting on Goodreads where you can set yourself a goal. So that's the way that you can keep yourself honest and it lasts the whole year. It really is fun. I increased my goal to 35 because I was actually going to hit 30 too soon. But you can increase the goal. You can decrease the goal, but it's more fun to increase the goal. And keep track of it that way. And definitely read books or make a resolution that not only are you going to read a book, that reading a book is going to be the first thing you do in the morning. It is not going to be choosing social media. I should also say, get rid of Twitter. I'm still on it. I'm using it to share and I'm using it for DMs. But X, I hate to say, is almost no good at this point. It is good for news. It's good when breaking news happens. We all know how important it was. But as I've talked with, everything is now rage bait. Everything is now, AOC wants this. What do you think? And I'm like, you know this. Or I'm really curious. What are examples of this? Because they're just trying to get you to engage. They can Google just or go or DuckDuckGo or just as easily as anyone else. And more people are putting up things that are not true just to get you mad. I've talked about that. I've gone through examples of that. Or they'll put up articles and it turns out it's from like 20 years ago. It's a cesspool and it's all about getting engagement. It is not about interaction. And most people, when they do interact, they don't want to interact, if that makes sense. They're just trying to get you to engage. So it can be like, hey, I really want to, be proven something about this. Can someone help me? And you take all this time to explain it and they're like, nah, haha, LOL, LOL. And they just laugh at you. They just wanted to mess with you because they're psychopaths or they wanted to get engagement. They're not interested. Try it. Try it. I promise you you'll be happier. I only use X now for DMs, wishing people things like happy birthday, but I do not use it for anything else while sharing out streams. You will be happier because it is now all about rage bait. And also people just behave badly. People behave badly on there, and there's two things that make me upset about it. One, the people behaving badly, and two, the people excusing the people behaving badly. And that is actually almost more depressing than the people behaving badly. So, yeah. And it's tempting. It's tempting to, for lack of a better word, sin. It it conditions you to be unkind. That's my 2 cents. Get rid of X, or do what I do and keep it because I need to keep it for contacts. I tried to get rid of it once, then I realized how many people that's the only way I can get in touch with them. But do what I call one-way tweeting, or only interact with people that you know are friendly with you. And you can figure it out pretty quickly who's messing with you. I fell for one not too long ago, and I'm still so mad at myself that I really thought this person sincerely wanted a dialogue. And I'm like, okay, never again. All right. Oh boy, let's see. Oh my gosh, whenever I get on a little bit of a rant, I lose track. Here we go. I think my next book will be Blood Meridian. Ah, good. And the Nerdporial Lifeform says, I read the beginning of the Baron and Luthien. I may read Silmarillion. Oh, yes, do so. I'll tell you, the creation myth that he has is so beautiful. I love Tolkien. You will not go wrong with Tolkien. Tolkien is perfection. Yes, Teresa, it's fake. Absolutely, it's fake. People like to bully and dunk on others on it. That's right. And they lure you into traps. They take advantage of people of goodwill. My friend got targeted, says Nordporial Lifeform, because he had a Christian stance on gaming. There it is. And suddenly people you thought you were friendly with are all of a sudden laughing at you and making fun of you. Oh, yeah, it's just awful. And if you get targeted, it's just terrible, absolutely terrible. Now, my most active X account is my Best of Once Upon a Time one, which is one way. Yeah, I did though get in touch with, my gosh, really in touch with that Adam Horowitz, and that's always a great thing. I love, nothing bad to say about that man. The Nuprilla Fund, the serial railing can be somewhat a slog, but it's worth it in my humble opinion. Yes. Yes, 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 and yes. Yeah. Just so long as you know what you're getting into when you go into it. I think people, for some, maybe think it's going to be something more like The Lord of the Rings. It's like, no. It's kind of like a history mythological book. It's everything in everything. I say take a book at a time, or a chapter at a time, rather, and see where you're going. You're not the boss of me, says Salty Traveling Sea. Oh, dear. Nerdporial Lifeform says, the Wheel of Time already feels like a slog, and I haven't gotten to 3 slog yet. So I know slog. Oh, dear. Well, that's my other New Year's resolution, is I am going to finish the Wheel of Time. That is all I am going to read. I am not going to read anything else until the Wheel of Time is finished. The end. One exception. Audiobooks don't count because that's not the same. Audiobooks I listen to in different contexts. Like, I can't read The Wheel of Time while I'm driving, but I can listen to an audiobook while I am driving. Salty in the middle. Yes. No one's the boss of you but you. And be careful, because there are traps out there. It hasn't quite happened yet. I'm waiting for it. It's coming. A big fake fight will break out around this time and or in January. They always do it because their revenue is down. Watch for it. Do not get involved because it's fake, and they will hold it against you if you take sides. And these people, and if you know, you know. I haven't yet identified it, but I know it's coming. Watch out for the fake fights. Tons and tons of traps, says Salty Traveling. See some really demented hack rooms. Oh, I'm assuming you mean back rooms. Yes. Oh dear. Don't say anything in any back room anymore. You can't trust anyone. Okay, with a few exceptions. We all know who we can truly trust. They will record you, they will lure you into saying something, and these people are insane. Okay, beware of back rooms, beware of DM groups. Be careful of the DM groups that you're in. My advice is leave DM groups if you can, unless it's a group that you absolutely trust. Audiobooks are not as easy to retain, says Nordporia Lifeforms, especially on an initial read. That is true. I tend to listen to nonfiction in audiobooks. It's like often when you will see a nonfiction book I put as my goal, it is audio. I think Atlas says, I'm the boss of my big toe. My family has responsibility for everything else. I love it. Nice. Howdy, Teresa in chat says Zacrout 315. Well, hello there. That's why I read the Wheel of Time, says the Nordporeal Lifeform. Salty Traveling Sea says, Teresa's going full on 3 days of the Condor on us. I'm not sure what the reference is. Oh dear. Chrisanne says most of my DM groups are mod chats for coordination. Yes. Yeah. Things like mod chats. If you are a part of a regular live stream, often you'll be in those chats. But you know the ones I'm talking about. And people screenshot, they share them. I've seen someone get targeted because someone screenshotted a DM group and this individual hadn't even said anything, but could see that the person was there, and someone posted it on Twitter, and then it was just a big mess. Sometimes DM screenshots are also fake. Be very, very careful. Nordporeal Lifeform says, Teresa, despite my complaints, book 3 of The Dragon Reborn is great. The prologue is fantastic, and the end is up there with book 2. Oh my gosh, because wasn't that an amazing ending? An amazing ending. Book 2 was epic. Nordporeal Lifeform says, Teresa is Robert Redford, I guess. Okay, I need to look it up. Okay, I'm in trouble. Salty Travel C says, OMG, Teresa, watch that movie. 70s thriller, Faye Dunaway, Robert Redford. Well, it sounds excellent. Yes, Nerdporeal Lifeform says most DM groups just share their streams. Well, that's another thing. If you're talking about something in a positive sense, yeah, that's fine if you're in a thing to share their links. But yes, I have found that you'll get into a DM group. It's like, hey, we're just supposed to have fun. And then all everyone's doing is like posting their streams. And it's not fun anymore. So you just leave. Everything's about shilling. That's why I like the Discords. The ones that I'm in, though I haven't been active for a while, they will have like a shilling area. So you go in there, it's like that's where you can shill your streams or your channels. Because also the way it comes across when people do that is it's like, wait a second, does this person want to be chit-chatting or do they just want to use me? Sadly, they probably just want to use you. I've learned that too. Be careful. It gets annoying. Oh, yes. Okay, you're saying it gets annoying. Yes, absolutely it is. And I will leave. I will leave if that starts to happen. Well, I have left. For the most part, with very few exceptions, if people randomly add me to DM groups, I will just automatically leave. I'm not going to do it. Now, if someone invites me, says, hey, I've got this DM group, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be added? I think that's courtesy. Adding people without their permission can also get dicey. I might dissolve my Discord, sort of says no pro life from. Okay, maybe having some trouble there. Yeah. A lot of trouble happens in Discord. A lot of fights break out there, from what I understand. It works if you've got good mods. When I say good mods, meaning some people are actually hired to do some of these things, so they're always there. Mods that are volunteer, it's volunteer. Like, I love it when all my mods show up, yay! But I don't expect if you have a wrench on my channel, I don't expect you to be here. I mean, come on. I don't expect any of that stuff. I'm happy if it is, but unless you pay somebody, I think someone should not be expected to be at every stream or in every Discord or something. And the really huge people can afford to do that, and you have to do it because things can get really crazy, and then it will reflect on you because there are people out there that really do want to destroy you. There's the bigger ones, yeah, definitely, they all have a target on their back, but there's some people out there that just they'll target, quote, unquote, "smaller creators" just because they think it's funny. They're psychopaths. I barely use it as inactive. Well, that's a very good reason to do so as well. Yeah, you will be happier the more you unplug. The hours, the liturgy hours that religious people participate in, and lay people were encouraged to do daytime prayer and evening prayer, but it's not an obligation for us. But if you start to get on that schedule, such as you have to wake up at a certain time, and the first thing you do is you go through the rhythm of uh, matins. And then you go through the different hours of the day to pause. It actually is really good. And it doesn't necessarily obviously have to be the liturgy of the hours, but if you have a routine for getting up in the morning, that is good for people. I think we've lost that in our society because it used to be, oh, I wake up and then guess what? I wake up and then I have breakfast, and breakfast wasn't, oh my gosh, I'm rushing out the door, I'm going to have it in my hand as I'm racing to work in my car or going through the drive-through. If you were going to have breakfast, you all had to sit down at a table. It had to be cooked. You sat and you ate and then you left. That's good for you, people. That is good for you. If you are able to start off your morning with real breakfast at a real table, lunch, same. Afternoon tea, do afternoon tea. I've talked about that before. I'm going to make a separate video about it. And then dinner at a table. If you have a family, do it with your family if you can. It's harder, I think, for people that are single because we're alone all the time. And I think that that's where some of the holiday blues can come around. Listen, all those people being romantic at Christmas, they're going to break up soon. Because overt acts of romance are shallow. They're shallow. Now, if you're truly in love and all that, and let's say your significant other gets you, a pair of sapphire earrings, that actually would be pretty cool. And it's an act of love, okay, that's great. But if the love isn't there first, it's not there. And if it's private, it's private. I guess what I'm trying to say is the more overt people are about, look what I got, look what I did, oh my gosh, and showing it off, posting on social media, it's fake, all right? Because if it's something real, you don't need to share it with everyone. So I guess I've said I don't want to knock overt romantic stuff at Christmas time because it is lovely, but is it really something? Same thing with Valentine's Day. Is it really something? Or maybe the way that you show your love for your significant other is, you know what, I'll be the listening ear. I'll be the person that plays a video game with you. Let's talk about a book. Or, hey, I know you're down. Let's talk. Or just the person you can just sit and hang out with. That's where love truly is. Love is not schmaltzy, this stuff on TV. And there's a reason why it's a meme that men hate it, because it doesn't come natural to men. And women that insist on it, it's not real. So just keep in mind that if you're trying to be, if you're allowing society to make you feel depressed because you don't have love at Christmas, well, guess what? You know who also didn't have a girlfriend? Jesus, all right? And he's perfectly fine. He invented Christmas. So there, you know, it's human made. They just want people to buy things. And not to be cynical, but most marriages divorce after 10 years. All right. So don't allow society to get you depressed for something that's not real for the most part. All right. Oh, Editorial life form had to go. I got to go. See you, Teresa, Salty in chat. Thank you for being here and thank you for the super chat. Take care. A dig Alice says, I got engaged at Christmas time, been married 35 years. Yeah, we see, I knew I was going to step in it because my other thought was my parents got engaged at Christmas and they've been married for nearly 60 years. So, yeah, I'm not saying it's always fake, but a lot of it is. A lot of it is. Like, okay, if you get engaged at Christmas, that's very nice. That's actually something substantial. But I think you know what I mean. Like, all these elaborate things that you see people doing, or he's going to take me out to a really expensive dinner, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or worse, this has been a thing. It's not just something you'll see on Reddit. Women bitching that the diamond wasn't big enough and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, that's not love. That's wanting to show off. Yay, congratulations. Yeah, 35 years. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, and I suspect that a lot of it has to do with that you've probably had a firm foundation, not just in your marriage, but in your life as well. That helps. That helps. But yeah, for the most part, love is action, not virtue signaling. And the TV stuff, the commercials, all of those things, they're trying to sell something. So don't allow yourself to get depressed by the adverts. And remember, yes, it's beautiful to get engaged at Christmas, but that's not what Christmas is all about. So if you don't have a significant other at Christmas, or if he doesn't propose to, let's say he doesn't propose to you at Christmas. My brother-in-law proposed in May. There wasn't anything going on in May. Don't allow yourself to get depressed. Don't be a plant. That's what someone told me too. Don't sit on your butt. Get up and move along to myth. Uh-oh, methinks the lady protesteth too much. About what? About virtue signaling stuff? Oh, I mean, I will speak from experience. In the past, it used to get me depressed. And then I figured it out. It's like that a lot of depression that is around the holiday season is about you're all alone. You know, don't allow yourself to be fooled by that. First of all, you aren't alone. And second of all, if you're seeing other people's stuff, it's because they're showing off. True acts of love are private. Or, okay, I know I'm going to get in trouble because I've seen people share on social media, yay, we're engaged. Of course, that's lovely. Or, yay, you had this lovely dinner. I think that we all know the difference between the virtue signaling and the real, the genuine. Okay, what does Salty say? Not about romance. The ladies all want romance. Illusions on society, social are totally different. Oh, okay, yes, yes. Yeah, illusions on social. Yeah, we do want romance. I mean, I won't lie. But, well, actually, not really. Not anymore. I got it out of my system, I think. I'm very practical. I turned 50 this year, and it's like lots of things shifted. Like, what really matters? Frankly, COVID was what changed me because it made me stop and think. What was I, 45 when COVID hit? 46? Yeah. So, Don't allow anyone to make you feel sad because you're single at Christmas. And this goes to things that should be taboo at Christmas. This is another reason why sometimes people don't want to go to relatives, especially women. I don't know if this happens to you dudes, but I'm a woman. And I had a friend that this happened to. Every time they'd get together at Christmas, "You're not married yet. When are you going to get married? You need to quit being so picky. Don't you know you're running out of time and all that?" And it's just awful. I had a friend that said that she wasn't going to come back to Christmas if her family ever did that to her again. And then they were like, "Oh, we didn't know we were making you feel that." It's like, "Well, what do you think you were doing?" Every time she would go down for Christmas, they would single her out. I have a friend whose mom introduced her daughter to the family. "Oh, yeah, this is our spinster daughter." And no, this was not in the 1950s. I mean, it's like, come on. Yeah, so that's another thing. So if you have a single person, don't shame them. If you have a married couple and they don't have children, don't ask them when they're going to have children. Don't. 99.9% of the time, well, first of all, it's none of your business. Second of all, I had a friend that it was just torture when that happened because she couldn't get pregnant. And when she did, she had like a gazillion miscarriages. I mean, she tried and tried and tried. And one of these things happened to her right after she had had a miscarriage. It's devastating. Don't do that to people. But another taboo topic, since we're already mentioning it a little bit, politics. Even though we want to gloat and get revenge, trust me, this year I want revenge. Don't talk about politics. Everyone agree we're not going to talk about politics. It used to be you weren't ever supposed to in polite society in public or in family gatherings, whatever. You weren't supposed to talk about religion, politics, or money. So everyone agree we're not going to talk about it. And if someone tries to, go deaf. And if they keep doing it, excuse yourself. Sometimes people will try to make you feel bad for doing that. You're ruining Christmas. No, you ruined Christmas because you brought it up. All right? There should be subjects that are taboo. No one wants to talk about politics at Christmas, anyways. And no one's going to change anyone's mind. And it's just stressful. I mean, things are stressful enough. The last thing you need to do is talk about politics. Also, don't argue about religion. Oh my gosh, that's the last thing we need to deal with. All right, we got enough problems in our lives. Yeah, let's debate sola fideism over the Christmas dinner. No, just chill. I think I've told y'all several times. I always go to mass alone. Guess why I go to last mass alone? I'm the only Catholic. And guess what? My family doesn't make a fuss. I've heard some people that their families can make a fuss. It's like, no, you have to go to our church, or, we have to go to mass, or whatever it is. It's like, no, let people go to the religious service that their conscience, which their conscience is obligated, Don't get that way. Like once around Christmas time, a relative brought her boyfriend who is Jewish. And guess what? Do you think my mom was a dick about it? No, it's like, oh, this person's Jewish, so I guess I'm not going to talk with him about the baby Jesus. And she made sure that there was some kosher food for the dude because that's polite. All right. So don't be a dick about religion, especially on Christmas. Crying out loud. We all got enough stress in our lives. Oh, bye, you all. Very Merry Christmas. Bye. Thank you, Jacob Ironside. Thank you for being here. Who uses the term spinster anymore? Believe it or not, apparently this person's mother did. Old Maine? Yeah, it's still there. Salty Traveling says that I'm 4 years older than you then. Damn, I'm old. Yeah, he's anxious. Yeah. I protested too much about romance. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm still getting there. Yeah, no. No, people that know me know I don't like it. Take care and Merry Christmas. Yay, Jacob. Yes, thank you, Nightman. Yeah, so I've already gone through that. I understand, though. I understand. Well, why else would we watch Hallmark movies and Days of Our Lives and this scene from the extended edition from the House of the Healing of Faramir and Arwen? Of course we do. I think the problem is when you make that an expectation. Oh, here's something else don't talk about. If someone is newly graduated or if someone has been laid off and they're looking for work, don't say, "Have you found a job yet?" Don't do it. Because guess what? The person will tell you when they've gotten a job. Trust me. Trust me. It'll be a big celebration. But if you do that, you're just going to call out the person and remind them, "Oh, yeah, I'm unemployed. Thanks." Yeah. I guess that goes along with money. Goes along with money. Let me see. Yeah, Nightman. Yeah. So I guess your grandpa's salty. You see, if I was a relative and I called you out, it's like he's old. Well, actually, I don't care about getting old though. I don't give a damn about any of it. Because I'll tell you what, the 20s were terrible, but the 30s, woohoo! Most of the 30s, definitely the 40s were amazing, even with COVID and everything. The coof, good times. All right, so here's some tips. Yeah, and please continue to feel free to give me any tips that you have for surviving Christmas. If you can avoid it, don't spend overnight. Choose Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. That's a good rule of thumb. And as far as dinner, I think I've talked about trying to be too perfect. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Do like my mom's been doing. Buy it from Kroger. There's a place near me that has a French Christmas dinner you can order. Order it out. Heck, at this point, you can even get DoorDash to deliver it. Don't cook if you don't want to, unless it's fun, right? Otherwise, don't do it. Like in my family, we like to have a bûche de Noël. And guess what? Dad calls me up. All right, what flavor? I'm ordering it from the bakery. Boom. End of story. We're not cooking that stuff anymore. Sean Sue says, agreed. Simply ask how things are going. Let them give the details or not. Precisely. Yeah, that sounds good. What's in a French Christmas dinner? Well, first of all, let me say, if there's a French person listening, if I get this wrong, I apologize. But it's got like the turkey thing, but it's got like some marmalade kind of gel thing and orange flavored stuff. And like I said, things like bûche de Noël. The stuffing tastes different. It's not really stuffing. Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on which parts of France you are too, but I actually tend to like that. So that's what I get. I got that for Thanksgiving one year because the in-laws, they flew elsewhere, but not my in-laws. My sister and went to be with their in-laws. My folks, I didn't want to fly up to be with my folks. Nothing against them, but it was going to be a long way. So yeah, I got that French dinner thing there and saw New Moon. That's what I did on Thanksgiving. Gosh, the second movie of Twilight. It's been a while. Who else does it? I mean, lots of places have some really good Christmas stuff. So outsource. That's another tip. All right. I'm going to start summing it up. We've gone to the 1 hour mark. Some things I talked about. Number one, you don't have to do anything you don't really want to do. So don't put pressure on yourself that you don't have to. If you must go to a big family gathering, have some ground rules, no politics, no calling me names because I'm single, or I don't know. Don't ask about my unemployment or something, have some ground woods. Say, no religion, no politics, no money talk. Arrange beforehand to make sure that the kids have a room or a place to have fun. A basement is perfect. Shove them out of the way and never see them again. Allow kids to be kids. Have some games ready. If you can, have a football game going. Make sure plenty of board games are available. Make sure everyone gets plenty of rest. 3 square meals. If you need to put some rum in your Coke, go ahead and do so. No judgment. It's a free country. Don't go to any services you don't want to go to. Don't let anyone put pressure on you for that. Don't feel like you have to go to midnight mass. That's my personal one. Go to mass, but man, don't stay up to midnight if you don't want to, unless you want to. Find a Christmas movie to watch. Find an unconventional Christmas movie like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon to watch. Ooh, Duck L'Orange. Yes, that sounds amazing. And we have another super chat. We have $7.42. Sean Sue says, Merry Christmas, everyone, and a joyous whatever else you may be celebrating. Amen and hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. And you, sir, get a rose. Thank you. Much appreciated. Merry Christmas. Oh, I also said celebrate Advent if you're so inclined. Don't put up any decoration or anything till December 24th. It's amazing if you do that. It's like very magical. It's almost like Santa Claus coming. I said about unconventional movies. Even better, watch The Fellowship of the Ring, which is 3 hours. So then you really can get away with things. Don't put too much pressure. Help out. Get as much sleep as you can if need be. If you really don't want to be around the relatives, take a Christmas cruise. Then you really have an excuse. If you're lucky, get sick. Like catch COVID or something. And if you do find that you have to divide up your time or be somewhere you don't want to be, you can deal with anything for 3 hours. You can. I think I'm summing up most of it. Oh, don't let the illusions of romance make you feel like you're less than. Don't allow like all the songs telling you you're supposed to be happy. No, you're not supposed to be happy. It's cold. It's dark. It's not natural to be happy when that happens. Unless you live in the southern, below the equator. All right. If you're in Australia, it's a lot easier to be happy at this time because you've got sun. If you have the blues, but don't be a plant. But again, don't let other people put expectations of what Christmas should be on you. You do not have to apply. You do not have to conform to what other people think you should be doing at this time of year. Do things fun this time of year. Keep up your exercise regimen. Enjoy decent New Year's resolutions. Read good fantasy. Don't read other stuff. Get away from X. X will make you depressed and angry and mad, and that's all the same. And I think that's it. I think I've summarized it well. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, everyone. We have Sean Sue. Thank you for your super chat, $7.42. We had Jacob Ironside. We had Salty Traveling Sea. We had a Dega Outlaw. Oh, who is saying something here? And I cook, says a Dega Outlaw, tell a lot of very bad dad jokes and drink eggnog. Yes, but Christ is always the main cause of the celebration. Darn right. Reason of this for the season. And I've said, too, that two ways of looking at reason for the season. Reason for the season is the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's the best way to celebrate it, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. Or think of the reason for the season. It's not about being selfish and crazy and insane and putting pressures on yourself. That's not the reason for the season, even by the secular point of view. And remember, most of those pressures come from commercialism. But yes, keep Christ in Christmas, in my humble opinion. I said, Sean Sue, Salty Traveling Sea, thank you. And he gave me a super chat. Thank you very much. We did reach my super chat goal. My super chat goal was low and we surpassed it. Thank you so much. Everyone got a rose for that. We had, I already thanked the Dega Outlaw, Nordporeal Lifeform. Thank you for your super chat. Chris Santh has been here. Zakrot 315. We had, oh yeah, I got to go get a candy cane. You see, now I've got an excuse to go get a candy cane. Thank you so much. And yeah, Dega Outlaw, thank you for your super chat. That is for the candy cane. And I think I got everyone. If I missed anyone, it was not intentional. Things jump around, and we've had a great crowd tonight. And those of you that will be listening on the replay, please put in the comment section what your suggestions are. Oh, Zombie Box Reviews is here. Hello. Hi, Miss Martin Eustace. Well, hello there. We're about ready to sign off, but we have lots of tips for Christmas, and maybe you can go back and listen to them. But remember, most of all, you are in control of you. All right? And to quote Jock Ewing, don't let the bastards get you down. Don't let them get you down. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So, everyone, have a great evening. I should be around. Let's see. Christmas technically starts. You see, I do the 12 days of Christmas, so get ready for it, kids. I go full out. I do it hardcore traditional. But yeah, we're in the second day of the O's. So the O's started yesterday. The first one was O Come, Veni. That's what O Come Emmanuel actually is. It's the O antiphons. Maybe I'll do a stream on that. Catholic explaining the O's. Yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. They're called the O antiphons. So that's another way to count down to December 25th, which is the first day of Christmas. Now, I know all you in England and Ireland that you celebrate Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day as well. And if you don't, obviously here in America we don't, maybe start doing that. It's fun. So at least do the first and the second days of Christmas. But yeah, it's fun. So the O antiphons, here we go. The first one has already happened, so I suck. I missed it. I should have put it on my X. That is one thing that I like to do. And it actually spells up something. So the first O. Oh, I was wrong about the first O. The first O, December 17th, it's O Sapiencia, O Wisdom. Today is O Adonai. So today is Adonai, the ruler of the house of Israel. Yeah. So, yay. And what's it going to be for tomorrow? Let's just do a preview. The third one is, oh yeah, and then it spells out each of the first letters. It spells out with the last Emmanuel. You work backwards to the first Sapientia. It spells out Eros Kos, which means tomorrow I will come in Latin. So, O Wisdom, O Adonai, O Root of Jesse, O Key of David, O Day Spring, O King of the Gentiles, O Emmanuel, and then it's December 24th. So, celebrate the O's and celebrate Christmas. So I will be around, and that is one of my New Year's resolutions. Now that things are not as crazy in my life, I will be streaming and doing more videos. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to not let the bastards get you down and to survive Christmas. Yes, it's all about Jesus and all about that. Yes, it's also all about family. Yes, it also has those secular meanings. But at the end of the day, be certain to survive. That's the most important thing.